We're here with Terry Horan getting ready for Bethel. Let's go back to last weekend. You're tied at halftime,
Right.
and then you come out and do some really good things in the second half. At the halftime, was it an adjustment that you guys made, or was just more of an attitude change that you guys needed to get up in gear?
Yeah, again, there was no panic or anything like that. I think that's one of the real good things about our staff and stuff. We always know that there's still 30 minutes to play. We're not going to go in and panic. We felt that we kind of stubbed our toes several different times in the first half offensively, and then also we really gave them 4 different points because we roughed their kicker 2 times. One was an extra point, one was a field goal right as time expired. So a little bit of it was, all right, let's just regroup. What we have in place is what we have in place. Let's go out and just execute better, and we did that. Our D's came out and had a really good third quarter, had a few 3-and-outs. We got the football back and got the running game established, which certainly helped too. It helped move the clock a little bit as well, and we were able to do some things through the air as well. And Tanner Du Bois again executing really, really well, and found some guys for the first time. Obviously Christian Thingvold scoring his first touchdown, so there was a proud young man. And Owen Miller, a freshman from Aitken, catching his first touchdown. So a lot of young guys on both sides, really in all 3 phases, that are doing some really good things for us. And so the whole second half went really well, and things happen. It's football, but you just got to learn how to finish games. We're going in really for the three score lead, and then we fumble. Well, they consequently scoop and score, or scoop and run it down to like the 35, 40-yard line. A few plays later, they're in the end zone. Now they're kicking an onside kick to get the ball back in the hopes of going down and trying to tie a game. Well, we recover it with Peter Narum, and then we ran the clock out. But could have been easily 3 scores. But it's just one of those things. That's where our youthfulness is kind of showing. We got to find ways to finish those games.
You talked a little bit about the rushing game on Saturday, and that's kind of evolved now. You had over 250 yards rushing. You had a couple of 100-yard rushers. Peyton Mortensen goes for 172. Is this the way the kind of offense is evolving? Because you're so new and so young with this offense.
Yeah.
As you kind of get used to it, can you see this going it where it's a good mixture of both, and you're able to take whatever the defense is going to give you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you put in a whole new offensive structure and you're not used to it, even though we had time last year during COVID to kind of tool of it, it takes time. Mark Tommerdahl, who's a former Cobber, obviously, who's been at the Division I level, he called me after the St. John's win and just said, "Hey, listen, I hear you're throwing the ball a little bit." And he says, "I've put this in 4 different places. It takes time. So just understand that it takes time, and then once everybody gets comfortable with it, things start moving." And also, I think I told you this, managing a football game. Because the old style, we're huddling, walking to the line of scrimmage, 3 yards, cloud of dust, and the clock is moving. Now we want to make sure that we're working in all 3 phases of the game, where we're not that 3-and-out so fast that you got a tired D coming back onto the field. So we got to really do a good job at managing a football game and just understanding what our offense is all about. But in saying it, it's coming together. And the running game has been slower coming together because it's a zone concept blocking scheme, which we've never done in the past. So Jake Pollock's done a really good job at getting that lined up, and Travis Titus has done a great job coordinating the offense. So it was good to get those 2 guys going, because Ben Hogarth and Peyton Mortensen are a 1-2 punch, and they're both absolutely the same person, really. They really are. They both play hard, they run hard, and they're smart football players.
Now, coming into this week, you'll have another nationally ranked team at home in Bethel, and you're going to face another quarterback who's been around for a long time, Jared Rost. What does he bring to that football team?
Yeah, he's an outstanding athlete. I've been watching him play ever since he was like a sophomore in high school at Alexandria, and when they would play the Spuds, and he always had great games. He goes to the University of Minnesota for a year, and then he transfers to Bethel. He's big, 6'4", he's about 225, 230. He can run. He can beat you with your legs. He can beat you with his arm. He's just headsy, but he's competitive. He wants that ball in his hands when it's time. And then defensively, you know, you got to account for a guy like that because he can run, so that makes it even more tough on a defense. But he's an outstanding football player. They're really big up front. They got a good, solid running game. They're about 60-40 run to pass, but they can sling it. They can do what they need to do. But their size up front is probably the biggest offensive line we've seen. Or probably match them with the Johnnies as far as the size wise. Defensively now, they out of any team we probably played, I don't know if anybody plays harder than these guys. Their goal is to get to you before you get to them. So, you know, making quick decisions is going to be imperative.
And then, especially for their defense, looking at their stats and different things, they have a lot of guys that get to that ball carrier from all different sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they do a good job at disguising blitzes, and if they're coming, if they're zone dropping, I mean, they're really well coached, and they're athletic, super athletic, so they all can run. And they'll get to you in a hurry. So it's going to be a dogfight. You know, it's one obviously that we always look forward to. It's both teams are 1-0 in the division, that do divisional format. But you know, Bethel's probably the team to beat in this division if you go back and look at, you know, who they have and what they have returning from 19, and so it should be an exciting one for us, and we're looking forward to it.
And you talked about that division. Was it exciting to play in that Skyline Division game against Macalester and get that win, knowing that, you know, now that you guys are playing in division play?
Yeah, hey, anytime you can get a win, you get a win, and you love it. Now, it wasn't the most pretty of games, all right, and I think everybody in our program would tell you that too. But Macalester had a lot to do with that as well. Those guys didn't back down. They competed for 60 minutes. It was a solid MIAC football game, but it was happy to go on the road, get the win, and get on the bus and head down Snelling towards north on 94.
And now finally, heading into this weekend's game, you're going against Steve Johnson, and suddenly you guys are the.
Oh gosh!
You're the.
It's like John Gallardi and Jim Christopherson now.
That's exactly it. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you're one of the old timer in the league?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe the sides of my hair and the gray hair and the loss of hair. I don't know. Steve over the years has obviously become a really good friend, and with my son Tommy playing baseball, we were down at Bethel this past spring. He would come to the dugout and visit, and he still looks the same. He's wearing flip-flops and shorts, and nothing changes with Steve Johnson, that's for sure. Yeah, it's hard to believe that. I'm going in the 21st year here at Concordia. I think he's in his 33rd year at Bethel. And has done a great job. He really has. He's got those guys playing well. So it's always fun to see him.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks so much.